Hello, friends, and happy Cinco de Mayo. I miss you all so much. You don't know how badly I wish that we were in our classroom together, working on some really cool Cinco de Mayo activities and crafts and listening to some Mexican music and dancing together and having a great time. But it's okay, don't worry, we could still have a great time from home. Miss Sherman was able to find a really cute book with a little bit of a Mexican flair to read to you all today. The story is called Skippyjon Jones. I'll be reading this story to you. We'll be having a little discussion at the end and then a journal entry, okay? So are you all ready? I hope you are, because here goes nothing. Skippyjon Jones. Again, Skippyjon Jones. Every morning, Skippyjon Jones woke up with the birds. With the birds? And this did not please his mother at all. "Get yourself down here right now, Mr. Kitten Britches," ordered Mama Junebug Jones. "No self-respecting cat ever slept with a flock of birds," she scolded, "or ate worms, or flew, or did his laundry in Mrs. Doohiggy's bird bath." So it seems as though Skippyjon Jones is a cat that likes to behave like a bird. That's interesting. The lecture went on and on as usual. "You've got some serious thinking before you leave this room, Mr. Fuzzy Pants," said his mother, "about just what it means to be a cat, not a bird, not a mouse or a grouse, not a moose or a goose, not a rat or a bat. You need to think about just what it means to be a Siamese cat." "And stay out of your closet," she added, and then she closed the bedroom door. So it seems as though Skippyjon Jones's mom is pretty upset at his behavior, and now he's stuck in his room. Uh-oh. But once he was alone, Skippyjon Jones began to bounce and bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. "Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones, and I bounce on my bed, and once or 6 times I land on my head." On his way down to earth from a gigantic big bounce, Skippyjon Jones shot past his bedroom mirror. "Holy guacamole!" exclaimed Skippyjon Jones. "What was that?" So there he goes, bouncing and bouncing on his bed, and then one of his bounces was so big that he actually was able to catch a glimpse of himself in his bedroom mirror. And he said, "Holy guacamole." So up he went again, and it appeared. Then, using his very best Spanish accent, he said, "My ears are too big for my head. My head is too big for my body. I am not a Siamese cat. I am a Chihuahua." So, since he is a small Siamese cat with large ears, when he caught a glimpse of himself in the mirror, he thought he saw a Chihuahua. And now he thinks he's one of those small dogs with the big ears that are called Chihuahuas. They're from Mexico. Back on land, Skippyjon Jones climbed into his toy box and rifled through some of his old junk. After he put on his mask and sword and climbed onto his mouse, Skippyjon Jones began to sing in a muy soft voice. "My name is Skipito Frisquito. I fear not a single bandito. My manners are mellow, I'm sweet like the jello. I get the job done, yes indeedo." That's a catchy song. Back in the kitchen, Jujubee, Jezebel, and Jilly Boo Jones were helping Mama Junebug Jones make lunch. "Can Skippyjon come out of his room now, please?" asked Jujubee. "No," answered his mama. "Mr. Fluffernutter is still thinking." His siblings really want to spend some time with him, but he's in trouble. He has to stay in his room. In fact, Skippyjon wasn't thinking about being a Siamese cat at all. What was he thinking about? "I think about being a Chihuahua." With a walk into his closet, his thoughts took him down a lonesome desert road far away in old Mexico. Not long into his journey, a misterioso band of Chihuahuas appeared out of the dust. "Ay caramba! Who goes there?" asked Skippyjon Jones. We go by the name of Los Chimichangos, growled Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. Who are you? I am El Skippito, the great sword fighter, says Skippyjon Jones. Oh, so now he ran into 3 real Chihuahuas. Then the smallest of the small ones spoke up. Why the mosquito, dude? Asked Poquito Tito. I go incognito, said Skippito. Do you like rice and beans? Asked Pintolito. Sí, I love mice and beans, said Skippito. So the Chihuahua said rice and beans, but since he's a cat, he likes to eat mice. So he said mice and beans. He might be the dog of our dreams, whispered Rosalita. Perhaps, said Tia Mia, if he knows the secret password. Oh, I wonder what the secret password is. Leaning toward Don Diego, El Skippito half sneezed, half spoken the secret password into the Chihuahua's very large ear. Achoo pichu! Bless you, said Don Diego. Gracias, said Skippito. Then it is true, decreed Don Diego. Yip, yippee, yippito. It's the end of Alfredo Busito. Skippito is here. We have nothing to fear. Adios to the bad bumblebito. Then all of the chimichangos went crazy loco. So he had to give the secret password, and he gave it. And now the chimichangas think that he is going to help them defeat Alfredo Busito. Dun, dun, dun. First, they had a fiesta. La, da, 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 la, 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 la. And then they took a siesta. Me, 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 me. Don't you get tired after partying? I do. But after waking up, the chimichangos got down to serious business. Using his paw, Don Diego drew a picture into the sand of the great bumblebito for Skippito to see. A hush grew over the chimichangos, so great that one could hear a whisker drop. Alfredo Busito, whispered the crowd. El blimpo bumblebito bandito. Oh, let's take a look at what he looks like. Whoa, that is one angry Busito. I would be scared too. Sí, said Poquito Tito. The bandito steals our frijoles. Oh no, he steals beans? Not your beans, cried Skippito, outraged. Sí, Poquito continued. Red beans, black beans, Boston baked, and blue, cocoa, coffee, kidney beans, pinto, and jelly too. And now he comes for us, Poquito added. ¿Por qué? asked Skippito. Because we are full of the beans too. So I guess since he's eaten all the beans and the Chihuahuas eat beans, he figured he'd eat them too so he could get the flavor of the beans and the taste of the beans. Oh man. Then Don Diego stood tall in his most somber voice, declared, Yo quiero frijoles. Huh? Asked Skippito. The dude just wants his beanbags, man, said Poquito Tito. And you are the dog for the job. Me? asked Skippito. Then all of the chimichangos turned towards Skippito, the great sword fighter. Remember, he's pretending to be a Chihuahua like them, but he's also saying that he's a sword fighter, so they are relying on him to defeat the Busito. But poor Skippito had no time for a plan because in the blink of an eye, a gigantic shadow darkened the landscape. The chimichangos scattered in all directions. Vamos, Skippito, or it is you the baldito will eato, they cried. Skippito stood his ground, but his legs shimmied and shook like the jello, and his teeth chattered like castanets. Then in a muy, muy soft voice, he said, My name is Skippito Frisquito. I fear not a single bandito. But Alfredo Busito flew straight for Skippito until the bean-eating bandito hovered only inches away from the great sword fighter's face. Holy frijoles, cried Skippito as he thrust his sword into the air. Uh-oh. Do you think he will defeat El Busito? Suddenly, pop went the bandito, landing on Skippito's sword. And quicker than one could say chihuahuas, cheese, and crackers, every kind of bean came spilling out of Alfredo Busito, the bumblebito bandito. Whoa, so he ended up popping him, and all the beans flew out. Whoa. Then all the doggies burst into song. Yip, yippee, yippito. Our hero is El Skippito. He's the dog of our dreams who delivered the beans, and now we can make our burritos. But back at home, there was such a ruckus coming from Skippyjon's room that Mama Junebug Jones and the girls just had to find out what was going on. They raced down the hall to the kitty boy's room. Banguito, Crashito, Papito, Skippito! Just in time to see Skippyjon's closet exploding. Holy cow, look at this. Oh my goodness. Do you think his mom is going to be upset? Uh-oh. Then out flew Candy, beanbag doggies, and the kitty boy with his birthday piñata on his head. Skippyjon Jones, everyone cried. Hola, muchachitas, he said in a muy soft voice. Mama Junebug Jones lifted up Skippyjon and covered his head with furry, purry kisses. What am I going to do with you, Mr. Cocoa Pugs? She scolded. So even though he gets into trouble sometimes, his mom cannot help but love him no matter what. That night, when he was supposed to be going to sleep, Skippyjon began to bounce and bounce and bounce on his big boy bed. Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones with a mind of my own, and I'll bounce on my bed for hours. I know I'm a cat, but forget about that. Say goodnight, Skippyjon Jones, called his mama. Buenas noches, mis amigos, said Skippyjon Jones. Good night. I hope you all enjoyed the book as much as I did. I really love that book. It's so cute. It's a tale about imagination and just, thinking of the things that you can do and achieve when you just pretend, right? Sometimes we could just pretend and have a good time with that. So, Miss Sherman has her journal right here. You can see it says Miss Sherman. And we are going to start with today's journal entry. I always love to start my journal by making a line across the page. So we have 2 spaces, one to write down here and one to draw pictures right here above, okay? So today I'd like us to write about what your favorite part of the story was, okay? So we'll start by writing my favorite part of the story is, okay? And if you have trouble putting the spaces on your notebook, you could use your finger spaces, okay? And the longer the word sounds, the longer the line has to be. Like my could be a short line because my only has 1 syllable, my. But favorite has more syllables. It has 3, so then you could make a longer line, okay? My favorite part of the story is, my is a sight word. So you could write that. Don't forget it's the first word in our sentence, so it has to have a capital letter. And then we could sound out the word favorite. Favor it. Okay, favorite has an E at the end. We can't hear it, but it's there. My favorite part. Part rhymes with art, and we know how to write art. So what sound? P. Art. My favorite part of both of those words are sight words, so you should know. If not, you could check your sound map. My favorite part of the story, story. And when we hear the sound E at the end of a word, most of the time it's the letter Y. Like Skippy, happy, sunny, cloudy. My favorite part of the story is another sight word. Okay, and with the remaining space, you could tell me what your favorite part of the story was. Is it when Skippyjon Jones got scolded by his mom? Was it when Skippyjon Jones popped el busito? Was it when they said, ay caramba? Okay, just think about whatever you liked from the story, and then you could write about it. Try your best. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just sound it out the best that you can, okay? And don't forget a period at the end of the sentence when you're done. Okay, above, you're going to draw and color a picture that reflects what you wrote about in the sentence below, as we do all the time. And then above, we're going to write the date. Let's see what today's date is. We are in May. So that's January, February, March, April, May. That's number 5. And today is Cinco de Mayo, so it's a 5, then a line, and another 5. Okay, boys and girls? Should look something like this, and then you can sound out the rest. Try your best. It does not have to be perfect. I just want to see that you tried. Okay, boys and girls, I miss you all so much. I send you a big, 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 big hug, and I hope you enjoy your Cinco de Mayo. Can't wait to see you all again. Love you all. Bye.